Hello, everyone. Again, this is the retired guy at Main Street Sanity, a retiree's take. And I'm assuming everyone was watching last night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Once again, bullets were flying. And this time, it was lucky that no one was injured at all. And the shooter was taken down quickly. But again, bullets were flying. And you ever pay attention to which way they're coming? They're always coming from left to right. And trying to figure out why. So let's just recap a little bit. In July of 2024, candidate Trump was shot, luckily only in the ear, and they got that shooter. In September, that same year, candidate Trump, another would-be assassin outside his golf course. Luckily, somebody saw the barrel of a gun, and that got that guy without incident. And, kind of going back to the first attempt where one person was killed and a few were seriously injured. Second attempt, as I said, nothing, no one injured, no shots fired by the would-be assassin. But then last year, Charlie Kirk, unfortunate. And as I said, the bullets are always going from left to right. And I thought it was very rich of Jeffries last night saying we need to tone it down. And there's no doubt that the Socialist Party, because I always like to reiterate this portion, we have three parties: Republican Party, Socialist Party, Democrat Party. And the only person in the Democrat Party, John Fetterman. I always say that. So the Socialist Party will no doubt blame the right. But let's just recap a little bit. You have all these waste of human flesh people peddling Nazis, tyrant, dictator, king. Years back called deplorables. And those are all the words of the left, the socialists. Ocasio, Schumer, Jeffries, Booker, Shifless, Bloomin' Idiot, Murphy, Rashida Taliban, the Somali. I don't even consider her an American, a U.S. citizen. She's not. Van Nutless, all these people. And what do they have in common besides being in the Socialist Party? First, they believe in open borders. They believe in anti-police, pro-crime. They're for sure pro-Iran, because if you listen to them on the networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, PBS, Politico, anyone who will put them on, they're mouthpieces for the Iranians. Whatever the Iranians say, they believe it. even though it's not true. But they're the mouthpiece for the Iranians. They're anti-Semitic. So once again, why is this happening? Booker needs to look in the mirror and say, he's the cause. He should look in the mirror and say, I'm part of the problem. But they never will. They'll blame it on President Trump. They'll blame it on everybody on the right for this. It's like they deserved it. We deserved it. How many more killings by illegal immigrants do we have to have? Look at Virginia. Scam burglar. For the 3 killings by illegal immigrants up there. Not a word from them. Or it's a random act of violence. Funny, it's always an illegal immigrant, and it's in Virginia. That doesn't seem random to me. It wouldn't be so random if it was one of her kids, would it be? Think about it. It wouldn't be. But it's not hers. So to her, it's just random. Like in the murder capital, Chicago. I'm surprised people haven't gone there in a revolt. It's just kind of shocking that they haven't yet. Because that mayor and that governor are a waste of flesh. Totally. So, but we need it needs to be toned down, and the Socialist Party never will. They will refuse to do it. Look at what went on in Minnesota when you got Tampon Tim and French Fry up there. They were promoting violence. Like I said, they're pro-violence, promoting it. Because what else does the Socialist Party have? Think about it. What are they offering? They haven't offered anything. The only thing they're offering, and I'll reiterate it, open borders, anti-police, anti-Semitic, pro-crime. What else is there? Anti-military, pro-Iran, allowing drugs into the country because they're anti-ICE, anti-border patrol. So what are the positives are they offering? Come up with a positive. In their mind, the positive is elect us and we'll take care of you. Not that you need to take care of yourself. We'll take care of you. So the last 4 years, how did they take care of us? Luckily, inflation only went up 9%. Gas was over $4 a gallon. Food prices were up. Crime was up. Overall cost of living was up. Wages were down. Unemployment was up. That's what they offered us. That's what we got. Where's the positive in that? Where was the positives? At least with this administration, gas prices are down. Before you say, wait a minute, because we're taking we took a nuclear bomb out of Iran. And that's the other thing. The left, the Socialist Party is pro-Iranian. So think about it. They would allow them to have a nuclear weapon, even though they're saying there was no proof of that. You listen to the morons. But then, because Iran said they were peaceful, they also said they didn't have intercontinental ballistic missiles. And look at what happened. They fired one over 2,000 miles away towards Guam. So, yeah, I would say that their truthfulness is pretty low in my estimation. If the left was still in power, we would have a nuclear Iran. And their only one thing is death to America. You can't bargain with them. Obama tried to pay them off. And what did we get with that? More missiles and closer to a nuclear bomb. Biden, same way. They just got closer to the nuclear bomb. So this administration, what do we have? We have an Iran that has been neutered, or just about. And once that neutering is complete, our gas prices will fall back down again. So I kind of take that one up. Cost of living has gone down, but it will never be to where it was in President Trump's first administration. It'll never get that low. I don't care what anybody says. Once it got on the rise, the only thing you can hope for is to sustain it at a level that is livable. And the cost of living is at what? Like 2.5% a year? You're never going to get lower than that. I don't care what anybody says. It's never going to get lower than that. We're not going to go back down to where it was. It's just not going to happen. But what we don't want to do is to go up 9% or more, like under the previous administration and all their good ideas. So, to be realistic, we want to sustain it to a level that is affordable. And I'm not even an economic guy, tell you the truth. But that's just common sense. We have a powerful military that no one's going to mess with us. We are getting law and order back. Look at DC, even though the National Guard is still around there. But if we need it, we need it. Memphis, crime rate went down in Memphis. Overall, the crime rate is down. Lowest it's been in 100 years. So, to me, these are all positives. So, and in our left hand, try to find a positive. I'm just saying, try to find the positive. In the right hand, at least I can name some positives. The left, you can't. No matter how you spin it. And what doesn't help is the Southern Poverty Law Centers. They're the catalysts of this too, because of their, is it their red list or something like that? And it's funny, all the conservative outlets are, a lot of your conservative outlets are on that list. Charlie Kirk was on that list. Look what happened to him. So what happens if we start putting out our left list? And I say, all liberals in Congress, they're on the left list that are bad, really bad. The teachers union, really bad. Let's see, California, the governor is really bad. We start naming these bad things, and is the same result going to happen to them? And who's to blame in a lot? Who's else to blame in a lot of this besides the Socialist Party? Who else? ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, PBS. The Socialist Party just has their hand up their backs, moving their lips, because they're just regurgitating the talking points. When's the last time you heard a person doing an interview ask a really tough question? I mean, really. I was watching clips on Fox News, and they were showing CNN anchor, and Van Nutless from Maryland was on there saying he would not give another dime to the government or to the military. Once again, he's anti-military for a war, a made-up war, or whatever by the president. But why didn't that interviewer say, so you're okay with Iran having a nuclear weapon, a nuclear bomb? And of course, Van Nutless would have said, well, there was no proof of that. But for 40, almost 50 years, people were saying they cannot get a nuclear weapon. And Iran even said they have how much uranium, 60% uranium they had. But then, I'm just kind of figuring out this is his comeback would be there was no proof of that. But then the follow-up question should have been, well, they had an intercontinental ballistic missile that could reach Europe that they weren't supposed to have and said they didn't have. So we could probably figure out that they were close to a nuclear bomb, so you're okay with that. But the problem with these networks is they employ no journalists. They employ dummies. Where the ventriloquist is a Socialist Party with their hands up their back, just moving their lips, saying what they want to say, asking the questions they want them to ask. And my last point will be that commentary, I guess, is for all the conservatives out there. What would you say if somebody like Schumer, Pelosi, Shiftless, Blumenthal, Pocahontas Warren, Rashida Taliban, Jeffries, Booker, Murphy, Van Hollen, if one or some of their family members or themselves were murdered? It could be by anybody. What would your reaction be? Would it be appalling, saying, this has to stop? Or would it be on the flip side, knowing how they treat and think of everyone on the right, would your reaction be, hey, good for us? Oh well, not too bad. What would your reaction be of those two? And I would always hope to think that we are better than they are. But it's getting hard to be that way, isn't it? Once again, when the bullets are always flying left to right. Okay, this is the retired guy. Once again, I always enjoy chatting with everybody. And always, any comments? My email is retiredguys@myyahoo.com. Feel free to email me. I'll answer any and all emails. I have no problems with that. If you happen to like this one, tell people about it. I get a few views. I always like to get more. It's always nice to see. And I actually do post these on YouTube as well. So until then, everybody have a nice day and be safe out there.